Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Track D. Today, we're all about exploring the HR development, and we are here to listen to the great case study that is ahead of us. We will talk about the burning question in talent discoveries, since the talents are the key for the success of organization. We will talk about the newest methods, solutions, and trends in talent programs. And if you're interested in tackling upcoming generations and want to retain key people and discover their potential, you're at the right place. I'm honored to introduce you to our speakers, Violeta Mrdakovic Lucic, Managing Partner at Assessment System Adria, and Gabor Fuzer, Country Manager at Assessment System Hungary. So good morning, and how are you feeling today?
Great, thank you very much, Ružica. You sounded so exciting. Now I'm a bit scared, if we will manage to tackle everything you mentioned.
I really am excited, and I do believe that everyone who's watching us right now are really feeling the same.
Thank you very much. So I will start sharing my screen. And while I'm doing that, I would like to introduce my colleague. First of all, Gabor Fuzer. Gabor is a country manager of Assessment Systems Hungary. And I don't want to say for how long you are working as a senior HR consultant. Some may think you are actually old, but you're not. So could you, Gabor, please say a few words about yourself, and then I will briefly just introduce myself.
Yeah, thank you very much. And let me be really short because as it was said, we want to, discuss many things, reveal many discoveries and opportunities for you. So, I'm country manager in Hungary. I'm a psychologist, also an economist, which looks like a great combination in my field. And when it comes to my favorite topics, I would say talents and leaders are really close to my heart. That's it. Let me give the word back to you, Violeta.
Exactly. Thank you very much. So basically, during these 25 minutes, we will be speaking a bit about our experiences, because we at Assessment Systems are usually dealing with people development, and we are providing solutions to our clients and customers related to the development of their key people. So persons who are mostly on top managerial, mid managerial positions, and of course, we are working a lot with talents. So basically what we will do is show you some of the conclusions that we made during the years related to what are the key necessities for talent programs to have in order for them to be successful. We had a lot of bad examples, experiences, a lot of good cases. So basically, we want to tell you a bit more about it. After 3 days of HR week, I'm sure that we do not need to speak about why we are talking about talent management. We heard a lot in different panels and different presentations that, of course, topic of talent management was always the focus within the companies, but especially in the recent period. So there is a sort of a shift towards personalized talent programs. We are speaking a lot about flexibility, changing companies' approach towards benefits related to talents. We are speaking about talent liberation, and at the end, as a crucial thing, engagement, identification and engagement of the talents. So Gabor, could you tell us a few words about what is different, what is changed in 2021 in comparison with previous years, and what is the future?
Yeah, thank you very much. So it looks like an evergreen topic, talents, not a question. But why are we talking about this right now at the end of 2021? I would say that the short answer is because the situation became a bit more challenging, or I would say even dark now. And it's not just us who felt it in Assessment Systems, but it was felt by other, consultancies, companies as well. So let me quote Willistar's Watson survey, where they realized that almost every company feels that it will be much more challenging and difficult to attract and retain employees especially key employees, this year and in the next year, which is a very huge number, 3 times or 4 times, And when it comes to the whys, I would say, as you can read them here, some of them are quite trivial or obvious, that companies are hiring more people. And unfortunately, COVID had, some traces here as well. But let me deep dive into some of them to show you that we are in a deep problem, really, not just in this region, but whole world. So, for example, when it comes to the fact that other organizations are hunting in our fields, sometimes it is not so visible for us because, we are not, doing anything with those companies in other industries, but they are doing it with us here now. For example, I've just read an article here in Hungary that the manufacturing industry or companies are losing their people. And I'm not talking about blue-collar people. I'm talking about engineers and white-collar people, because these people are joining the food delivery industry. So they are just hopping on a bicycle and delivering food because they can earn much more with much less responsibility. So beware, food delivery industry is hunting on your field. Then work from anywhere policies made it easier to get jobs elsewhere. Yep, it's also very, very tangible. I still remember the poster here in Hungary when it said that come to Hungary, we have jobs in London. Of course, it had a political tone, unfortunately, but still, it is a fact that you can work here for England, for London, and it's a problem when it comes to attracting or retaining people. And yes, wage demands have increased. It's less clear who is a talent. We'll talk about that later. And look at the last one and think about IT. Sometimes IT is so special that it's really, really hard to find at least one person to do that special job for you. So much more difficult, much more harder. But as you will see on the next page, well, fortunately, we know that. As you can see, companies know it, that it's more difficult. But unfortunately, it's not enough to know it. It's not enough to be aware of the problem. Because even if we are aware of this, unfortunately, it looks like that we are doing something wrong. Why I'm telling you this? Because if you look around, you can see in other surveys and research that it is also said that approximately 60% of employees are passive job seekers, which means that they are not really connected and engaged in the company where they are currently working. They will grab the first nice opportunity to go elsewhere. Almost the same number. As you can see, more than 50% of people would like to change the profession. So it's not just, looking for another company in the same sector. No, they want to do something completely different. Again, it looks like we are doing something wrong with the talents. It's an evergreen topic. We are, pumping money and time into this. But as Chamorro said, it looks like that we are having a war against our own talents based on the results we see right now. So we have to do something in a different way. That's my main conclusion. And we have to double our efforts.
Thank you, Gabor. You are completely right. So thinking about and, reminiscing about some of the successful approaches towards talent management, we at Assessment Systems came to a conclusion that there are 4 key points in order to make talent programs successful. First of them, basically, is clearly defining who is a talent. Who is a talent for this company, and what does this talent need to possess in order to be labeled as one? We hear recently a lot that every employee has some sort of talent, and that actually can be true. But can all employees be in talent pool? Actually, no. Basically, our projects shown that in average, around 20% of people that we are assessing and working with could be identified as talents. And when we say identified as talents, meaning based on the information that we receive from the company, what are the key competencies needed for someone to be called a talent. So basically, From all of the employees, only 20% in average will be in the talent pool. The second thing, and it is a general thing, it is not industry specific, it is not company specific. Basically, these talents are usually raw, meaning that they are rewarding to deal with, that they have good interpersonal skills, that they have good hard skills, even though, of course, we need to measure what is their potential to gain new skill. That is more important than looking at what skills, what hard skills do they possess now. And the third aspect of role is actually motivation. So motivation and ambition, the willingness to work hard and to be driven. And one of the most important spices, we saw it in clients' companies, the person needs to look at her or himself as a talent. So, of course, it does not mean that someone will be or should be arrogant, but they need to have that internal intrinsic motivation to become a part of the talent pool. So the first important thing is to define what talent is for our company and what are the spices that make a talent. The second thing, which we see often lacking, is joint work of all stakeholders who have influence on in the process of talent management. Mostly this is in the scope of HR function. We are often being, of course, called by HR professionals, HRDs, who are drivers of the talent pools. But on the other hand, we need to make sure that we have active, ongoing participation of the direct superiors. That is an often link that is missing, that sort of alignment between HR policies and practices and management. What do you think about it, Gabor? How often does it happen? This misalignment between management view of what talent is and HR view of what talent is?
Quite frequently, I have to say so. But of course, I think it's not a big surprise. Yeah.
You are correct. This is why we think that objectiveness in these processes is crucial. Of course, it is always very significant to have information from direct superior, to have support from direct superior, but objective measures are something that we are pushing for in these programs. Of course, the talent management programs need to be more personalized. So internal mentors from the company are getting a very, very significant role in talent management. And of course, it is not just an internal project. A lot of stakeholders need to be included from the outside. Basically, different types of trainers, even more coaches in the current period. We will speak about it. Consultants, other talents, and so on. So basically, without having a strong support from all the stakeholders, which is extremely difficult in quite a lot of situations, talent management program will most probably fail. So how does the process actually, one good quality process of talent management look like? Gabor, could you tell us a few words?
Yeah, thank you. So, well, out of these previous discoveries that I was talking about, and as a response to these challenges and basing on things on these theories we have mentioned, we have created a process. Of course, we know that we are not reinventing the wheel with this. I would say that if you look at these 5 steps or stages, you will feel that, wow, some of them are quite trivial and understandable. So what we wanted to do with this, creating this process, this wheel, is that we wanted to emphasize that talent management is not just a project. It's a process, really, with several steps. And if you simply skip some steps, some stages, the preparation, the assure part, then you will go back what we have started discussing at the beginning, having people as passive job seekers finding it even more and more difficult. So that's why I would say it's really important to go through all the steps and to do several projects under, talent management. So let me deep dive into some of them. I would say assess and accelerate should be quite clear that we have to measure something, we have to train people, but what the hell is actually architect, assure, and activate? So architect is the one Violeta was talking about to somehow, make a very strong bond between our strategy and our talent management. It's not just like we need smart people and let's somehow educate our smart people, tie them to the company with special things, or let's educate them because communication is usually important. Let's talk about resilience. They are fancy topics. No, you have to have a very clear vision, regarding your strategy, and you have to align it to your talent management, at least on the level of skills or competencies. So that's the architect part. Create it. Do not let the fancy things drive your attention and the whole program. So that's architect. And then assure is as the last part. Always try to collect feedback, at least at the end of the whole talent management cycle, from people, how they felt, what was really useful, etc., etc. And also remeasure the level of the trainings you had with them, because after the trainings, I would say that we are all on the same page, that we would like to see some kind of change, increase in terms of soft skills, etc. Why not measuring this? Because it's not really again reinventing the wheel, how and why we have to do that. So assure is also important. And just one or two words about activate. It is also a bit tricky because sometimes, yes, we assess people and then we train it. But in the meantime, we sometimes forget that some people are not considering themselves as talents, even if we know that they are, even if we know it because we have assessed them and we have, a paper, a stamp on that the person is a talent, a real talent. We have an objective measure stating that the person is talent. But sometimes people don't think that they are talents. So you really have to activate themselves or these people to feel that yes, they are talents, they are worth for it, they have to do something with that, etc. So that sometimes that's the activation, to make them understand that yes, they are ready, they are willing to engage themselves in such a journey or endeavor. Yeah, so journey, by the way, a great word used in many companies we have worked with when it was the topic of talent management, because I think it's a journey for the company as well and for those people, for the talents as well.
Thanks, Gabor. And tell me from your experience, which segments of this process are lacking usually the most?
Well, first of all, I have to say that I've seen many good talent approaches. So it's not totally rare. For example, if you allow me one example,
Yes.
we have just worked with one of our big clients, and they decided to offer a program for their people where they could re-educate themselves into software engineers. So if you remember our sentence that actually more than 50% would like to change their profession, this company made it real and capitalized on this well-known fact. They offered a program for those people coming from sales, customer service, whatever, to be re-educated into a software engineer. It was not a cheap program, that's true, but of course they could retain those people, offer this opportunity, and guess what? Hundreds of people applied to the program. So it is really a fact that people would like to change their profession. And, IT software engineering is really attracting these days. But coming back to your question, well, I would say that the things I've highlighted are the ones that are usually missing: the architect part and the assure part, because as much as I see, many companies still don't know which skills to work with, who is a talent, because these things are, of course, connected. But what kind of skills do we need? They sometimes go with the flow, as I've said, communication, stress resilience. That's what they want to, increase or ping or develop, and that's it. And they have a program for that. Somehow they put people into that, and that's it. So architect is especially important. That's what, by the way, can make HR and the whole thing to go into a strategical level. And the last one, assurance, is also sometimes missing, but it's extremely important, because that's how you can prove that it was not just a challenging, a difficult program, but it was really worthy, because that's how we see now our talents, that's how now they see themselves and the whole company. And here you can point out some development, some increasing measures regarding the company engagement, etc., etc. So these are the ones that are usually missing, but sometimes this, sometimes that. It's not that frequent that all of these are missing. Yeah.
Thank you very much. You mentioned that some efforts related to talents, they are not cheap. Sometimes that's the issue we are facing, that a lot of companies are looking at this process as cost, not actually as an investment. So I would also like to point out one approach that our client has. It's a fantastic approach, but it's a huge investment. It's a multinational company, and they have employed 15 people only to be dealing with potential talents within the company. So that I would say that that's also an example of great practice. Of course, not every company can afford that type of investment, but we see that clients are putting a lot of emphasis on that. The fourth point, which is extremely important, is this ongoing development. It's not just, as you mentioned, Gabor, project like, okay, we have identified our talent pool, we will put them all through some sort of first-time manager academy or leadership academy, and now we have ready-made people. No, basically, this approach towards development is something that has been changed a lot. It is much more individualized. It is mostly being done through individual development plans who are thoroughly monitored, where each and every individual has a huge support internally from superiors, from mentors, from HR, but also external support from different companies. So since we are coming to end of our lecture, let's just try to summarize what are the key do's related to talent management program. So first of all, it needs to be completely aligned with business strategy, with companies' values, competencies needed for the future, and so on. Second thing, it is very important to make a precise definition what talent is, and make sure that everyone in the company, each employee, understands what talent means for the company. We said performance does not always equal potential. Those are different views. So basically, when we are searching for talents within the company, we are searching for people who have growth potential, actually. We need to have a clear strategy, a clear plan, and of course, we need to make sure that all of the policies and all of the approaches within the company towards talent are aligned. Personalization is a must, and at the end, it is extremely important to always have data-driven and objective process in order to be able to measure and later on remeasure the success of a certain program. So if there are some questions or some comments, we are really interested to hear them.
I just need to add that since the time is up, and I think that you have summarized it very well, and we had some questions, but since the time is up,
yes,
I will ask you later, so we may finish now. And I just want to say thank you very much, Violeta and Gabor, for this great insights. And I want to remind all the audience who are watching that you can visit the assessment systems booth in our expo zone and find out more information about them and check out the special offer. And also we will be back on main stage, and we will see you later. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.